Okay, we're going to start on this miner carving, and I'm going to do it just exactly like I do all my carvings. I'm starting out with just an idea, nothing, no sketch, nothing. We're just going to wing it and see what we come up with. I got me some reference material I grabbed off the internet, especially the old hat. This here is a wood carving by a fella down in Santiago, Chile, of all places. Judy and I and our boys were lived down there for 2 years working for the U.S. government in the embassy. And I came across this guy, and I think it's not a very good picture. He's probably one of the best wood carvers in the world as far as I'm concerned, making little scenes and stuff. But you can see here how he laid his out. See the opening of the mine. Here's a little mine cart. And here he is leaning on a shovel. Got a little kit bag hanging up here on one of the supports. So I'm going to see if we can incorporate something like this into our miner, which will give us an opportunity of lots of detail. So I mentioned also that we would reduce the figure. All right, well now here's a figure. This is about what I'm carving right now. This gives me a 14-inch figure by the time I add the hat on, okay? Sometimes maybe up to about 15 inches. I like that size, but we're going to downsize it. This will give me about a 12-inch figure by the time we add the hat on. You can see I made a little modification here to my little paper mannequin. I make these mannequins all the time because they really come in handy. So let's just set this one aside because we're not going to use it. We're going to concentrate on this one, and we're not going to be worrying about the body here yet. We're only going to be worrying about the head. So let me go ahead and use this head. It's just a old standard head. Generic head. Just outline it here. Okay. Now for the hat. Well, we're all equipped with computers nowadays. Some of us have these pads, which are really handy. So let's just go to Google. Let's just type in old miner's hat. Do an image search. There's one right there. We'll do an image search, see if we can't find a better one. There's a weird one right there. There's one right there. That's that one up there, just not quite as good a picture. But that picture up there, if I keep searching, I could probably just put miner's hat in there and come up with the other one. But anyway, there's no lack of reference material on Google by any means. Here's got a carbide lamp. Well, I found a good picture of a carbide lamp. This thing here hooks into right there on the front of his hat. So anyway, we can find plenty of reference material, so let's just go ahead and we'll just modify this drawing for a hat, just like that. We're not going to worry about a bill because I like to add my bills separate. Some of you made a suggestion, hey, let's do Sherlock Holmes. Well, I already had Sherlock Holmes in the works, so didn't think it'd be very good to bring you guys in, girls in at the mid carving, so we'll go with the miner. But anyway, these pieces here, this is catalpa, and I insert these into the head. It gives you a much thinner bill, just looks a lot cleaner than one that's carved. Some people think it's cheap, and I don't care. You know, it's my figure. I'm going to do it the way I want. And how I do this, I'll show you later on, but just to give you a brief explanation of how I do it, I will use a form, you know, profile gauge to get the shape of the head, and then I will make my drawing. And with the profile gauge, that'll give me this this curve right here, and I'll cut that out. And then I will carve a groove into the head to insert that hat brim, and then I'll glue it into place. And once you glue it into place, it's never going to come out of there. And then I'll carve the thing. But before I do that, I'll take this piece here, once I get it cut out roughly, put it in a cup of water, stick it in the microwave and boil it. And then I'll form the curve on the hat while it's good, hot, and wet. And catalpa over basswood really bends once you get it hot and wet. And once I get it formed in the shape that I want, I'll just set it out in the sun or just set it on the cabinet and let it sit there until it dries out completely. And then it's just as hard and it'll keep its shape. Alright, I gave him a little, I kind of cheated up here, I guess. I made that bow out of a piece of nylon string. Anyway, so now we've got our shape. So the next thing to do is to cut that out and find a piece of wood to do it. Okay, here's a piece of 3-inch basswood I found over in my cutoff box. I think I can use this piece. This is 2 inches across here. And you'll find this pattern in the gallery. I'll try to put it in there, but now I'm going to cut off a little of his neck here, but that's no big deal. So first let's just draw this on here. Just like that. Give him a little more material up here because we're going to give him a mustache, at least mine is. And then we'll draw his hat on here. And this hat will be a little higher than the other one. Just not going to bother with that back there. And front-wise, let's see what we've got here. Yeah, that'll be about right. It'll be about 2 inches, so you'll be able to get it out of the 2-inch board. Okay. So now it's a trip to the bandsaw. Okay, here we go. It's going to get noisy. Just stop right there. Leave that hanging on there, that way I can be able to won't have to tape it all back together when I cut the front. apart here. I just cut it apart. And there we have our blank. Okay, we have our head cut out, got our blank here, we're ready to start carving, but we're not going to do that until the next video segment. I'll put this little pattern and this reference material onto the album that I setting up for the miner. But I encourage you to go out and start looking for this stuff yourself. It's out there on the web. You can get a lot better picture probably, and a lot of different examples of miner equipment that we're going to be carving. This is a lunch pail here. This is a more recent hat. I just put that up there before I found, well, I put this up here so I could see how this lantern clips into this thing. You can see it hooks right in right there, and it's got a couple little wire holders on the back of it that hold it in place. And that right there, that's flint, sort of like a cigarette lighter. That's what starts the carbide. You put water on the carbide and it starts making a gas. Put the carbide inside here. And this little thing here is a latch that adjusts the amount of gas coming out, and that's where you put your carbide in. Carbide lamps are pretty nifty. Okay, so anyway, till next time when we start on this, I'll talk to you later.